Hey everybody, Mike here, Head Trader 2 Trading Group. May 23rd, I closed out my final swing trade, the last piece of this SE swing trade that I opened up on May 16th at $11.50. If you have not watched that video, guys, go back and watch it. It's from a few days ago, May 16th. It's titled 3 New Swing Trades. Of those 3 swing trades, it was SE, CHEK, and EBIO, which is now SESN or SENS, SESN, I think. CHEK was a small winner. The EBIO was a small loser. And this SE was a big win. I've gone over the check and EBIO trades in previous videos because I have since closed out those trades. So with this video, I'm just going to recap for you this SE swing trade because it was an absolute thing of beauty. So if you have not seen that video, I suggest go back, take a look at it, the analysis on that setup and on that trade. But I'm going to walk you through it now anyway. Okay, so first things first, we're going to go to the daily chart on this SE. And SE, guys, I got long on this day right there. Okay, and this gap up day is when I got long SE. And that's how it got my attention from that gap up. And when a stock gaps up like that, pre-market, the first thing I do is I go and I look at the daily chart and I try to see, okay, what's the setup? What's the pattern? Is there something here? And from the daily chart is where I generate the trade idea. Okay, and the concept on the trade. And the very first thing that I noticed was an absolute picture perfect descending wedge pattern. Now, descending wedges are typically trend reversal patterns. They form at the end of a downtrend. Okay, and the key to this pattern is a break above this downtrend resistance line. So on this day, we were gapping above that downtrend resistance line. So I thought, okay, maybe this trade is going to trigger. This pattern is going to trigger. So let me take a little bit of a closer look. The first thing I noticed was that descending wedge. Now I said, let's take a closer look. So I zoomed in and I started to notice that there was a very clear area of resistance right here at $11. Look at these highs. Okay, here they are. Here's this resistance at $11, where on there's another one right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days, SE was not able to break above $11. That's a pretty key pivot area for the stock. So when we gapped above it, I'm thinking about getting long on the swing trade. I said, this is my stop loss. Okay, if we break back below $11, that is going to be my stop loss. That previous resistance area is going to be my stop. We also had the 50-day moving average coming into play here. Okay, so now I've got the 50-day moving average and this previous resistance level at $11 to be my support for a potential stop loss. Okay, cool. I like that. Now, let's look a little further. What else do we see? That was the second thing that I noticed. Now, let's go look at the MACD indicator. Here's our MACD indicator. And the very first thing that I noticed as soon as I pulled up the MACD was that we had bullish divergence. Very, very clear, strong bullish divergence. Bullish divergence in the MACD means the value of the MACD indicator is rising while the share price is falling. Okay, and you can see here very clearly that the value of the MACD was on a nice, clean uptrend while the share price was on a nice downtrend. That is bullish divergence. So that's another thing that was working in my favor. That's another reason why I really started to like this trade setup. Let's look even further. As we zoom in on the MACD indicator, you can see here that we had a signal line crossover, which is when the MACD, which is the 1226 MACD indicator, which is this teal line on my screen, that's the actual MACD, and it's plotted against the 9 EMA. Okay, that's the signal line. When it crosses above that, that's considered a bullish sign. So that's another bullish signal coming to us from the MACD indicator. Another bullish indicator was we had just crossed over the 0 line. That's another positive bullish indicator. When the MACD crosses over the 0 line, this dotted line on my screen that takes into positive territory, that's a bullish signal also. So now I start to find myself with this setup on SE on May 16th, and I'm like, I can't find a single reason why I should not buy this. Okay, everything that I'm looking at, from the chart pattern to the MACD indicator to the 50-day moving average, to the descending wedge, prior resistance at 11 bucks, everything is pointing north, and that an uptrend is about to ensue. Okay, so then let's take it even one step further, and now let me delete all this on the MACD and say, let's take a look at the RSI. Here's your RSI. Okay, and what I started to notice in the RSI as well, this doesn't seem to be right down here, guys. This is not right. When I actually made this video, I know there's something wrong with my RSI indicator, because when I actually made this video, this RSI was not down here when I made the video, the first time. I'm not sure why that is plotted down there. But you saw the same thing. You saw an uptrend in the RSI. The RSI also at the same time was also increasing in value, okay, while the share price was decreasing. Okay, so now we got bullish divergence on the MACD, bullish divergence on the RSI. We had the 50-day moving average. We had, this descending wedge. I mean, there was just we had a signal line crossover. We had a zero line crossover. Everything was pointing north on this SE. Okay, and that's what made me take a position long on May 16th at $11.50. I'll take you now to the intraday chart and walk you through the trade. Okay, so I actually have to go to a 5-minute in order for me to go back that far on my chart. So here we are, guys, on the 16th. This is the day that we gapped up, and here is my entry right here at $11.50 on May 16th. Again, you can go back and watch my previous video from May 16th where I talk about this trade and my entry at $11.50. Okay, and my first take profit, let me zoom this in, was not the 17th, but the 18th, so 2 days after my initial entry. Let's zoom in. I took some profit off at $12.87. Okay, right here is where I took some profit off the table, sold 25% of my position. And then at $13.34, right here, took more profit, sold the bulk of my position there at $13.34. And was holding on to still 25% of my position. Okay, I believe this was a 12% gain and then a 16% gain. And I'm still holding on to 25% of my position. My target on the trade was 13 to 14 bucks. Okay, now as we pan over, we come to today, the 23rd, we get a real strong break. And I sold out my final piece right there at 14.41. I'll take it to my trade announcements on the day. Here it is, guys, at 2:46 p.m. Final take profit in SE swing trade from 516, 14.41, 25% gain on that final take profit on SE. I mean, that's just a beautiful, beautiful swing trade. Here's the entry: first take profit, second take profit, final take profit. Okay, and the reason why I was getting flat there in front of 1450 was because of a resistance level that we were coming up to on the daily chart, and I'll draw that out for you now so you can see what I'm referring to. And here it is, guys. You can see here clearly prior support became resistance, and now here we are piercing that same exact resistance level, and that's why I decided to get flat right there in front of 1450, and we ended up closing at 1426, and my final take profit again was 1441. Okay, so congratulations to anyone that that followed that swing trade. It was really a thing of beauty. Never really gave us any cause for concern or any worry. We never even dipped back below the entry price. So it was a very, very stress-free trade, and it really was a thing of beauty, and it kind of worked out perfectly. It went even farther than my initial target on the trade, 13 to 14 bucks. Ended up taking that final piece off at 14.41 for a 25% gain. So it was really a thing of beauty. All right. So I just want to take that, kind of update you guys. I now have no open swing trade positions. That was my last swing trade that I was holding. So I no swing trade positions as of now, but I will obviously let you guys know when I open a new one, and we'll go over that trade analysis. Again, go back, watch that previous video so you can see the analysis before the stock made its move, and you can see the analysis on the actual day that I entered the position. All right, so good stuff, gang. Again, congrats to everyone who caught that move. I'll see you guys in chat tomorrow. Take care.